Coming up on OU Nightly, Hurricane Melissa is hitting Jamaica hard, what we know right now. And an OU Nightly exclusive, we're hearing from a student whose family is bracing the hurricane. Also, Oklahomans can now compare hospital pricing before they check in. This is OU Nightly.
You're taking a live look at different parts of Jamaica after Hurricane Melissa made landfall this morning. Thanks for joining us this evening on OU Nightly. I'm Julia Roberts.
And I'm Michael Thompson. Officials say at least 7 people have died from the storm. We start with team weather coverage on the hurricane in the Caribbean.
We're going to let OU Nightly meteorologist Isaac Walters break down the details. Isaac, what can you tell us?
Hurricane Melissa is officially the strongest hurricane on record to make landfall in Jamaica. This morning, the Category 5 hurricane reached sustained wind speeds of 185 miles per hour, with one wind gust reaching 250 miles per hour. The pressure inside the eye reached record lows of 892 millibars, making it the 3rd strongest in Atlantic Ocean history. At this time, as Michael said, there have already been 7 confirmed deaths. OU Nightly meteorologist Garrett Tarver is tracking the storm as it continues to impact the Caribbean. Garrett.
Thanks, Isaac. Yes, we can see that massive hurricane. Now those clouds reaching all the way up to near Florida, down to South America. That storm is going to continue to track to the northeast. So it made landfall in Jamaica. Next up is Cuba as we get into early Wednesday morning. So right now winds are at 145 miles per hour. It's moving at about 8 miles an hour. That pressure 921 millibars right there in the middle. Now it's veering off to the northeast because of our weather here in Oklahoma. And part of that is that freeze watch as well as a wind advisory. So we're going to have those as well as an update on Hurricane Melissa.
Thanks, Garrett. People right here in Norman are being impacted by this hurricane. I sat down and spoke with a student who lived in Jamaica and has family right in Melissa's path. So can you just tell me a little bit about where you grew up?
Okay, so I was first born in America. I was born in Florida, and then as soon as I was born, I was brought back to Jamaica, where all my family lives, and we lived in Kingston. So I have family kind of all over. I have family in Kingston, Portmore, St. Elizabeth, Hillshire, and so in the Southwest, where Hillshire and St. Elizabeth are, I know that they have like no power right now, and like power lines are down there, kind of what's getting it the worst. And then in like Kingston and Portmore, it's really just like heavy winds and just like light rain and stuff like that.
Now, what did they do to prepare? Because they've been talking about this hurricane for a while before it touched down. So what have they done?
To prepare, it's really just stocking up on like foods and just making sure like everything is like put down and put away.
And how are you feeling about this that's happening?
It's like a mixed emotions because on one hand, half my family is doing okay, and then the other hand, it's like we're not really sure like what's going to happen because it's still kind of early days. But my family is in contact with each other consistently all the time, so just being able to have that is like a good thing. I think even though like Jamaicans are going through a lot and we are going through a lot, the thing is like everyone's spirit is always still uplifted at the end of the day. Like there's this saying where it's like one love, one heart, let's get together and feel all right. And that's like a major thing in Jamaica. Like everyone's family, everyone's here to support each other.
Sky added that the best way to support Jamaicans right now is donating to relief organizations and keeping the country in your thoughts and prayers. We'll keep you updated on the hurricane.
If you're going to the doctor, you can now compare the best ones to each other and even see which ones are the cheapest. Today, Governor Kevin Stitt announced the launch of Oklahoma Hospital Price Finder tool. The tool will give Oklahomans free access to hospital prices, allowing them to compare options with other hospitals around the state.
Patient, you can see the cost of services up front before you actually go in to the hospital. You have the opportunity to shop around to find the best service, the best price possible.
Is sponsored by Patients' Rights Advocate, a nonprofit group focused on bringing system-wide health care price transparency.
The fragile ceasefire in Gaza faces yet another test as new strikes are launched. Jack Hancock has that in the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
At least 9 people have been killed after Israeli forces launch new strikes in Gaza tonight. following an order from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. This comes after Israel accuses Hamas of violating the U.S.-brokered ceasefire deal by sending partial remains of a hostage. According to the Associated Press, U.S. officials were made aware before strikes were launched. The U.S. launches strikes on 4 more boats allegedly carrying drugs in the Pacific Ocean late last night. 3 strikes were launched, killing 14 people. Mexican authorities are still searching for the 1 survivor. Over the past 2 months, the Trump administration has ramped up their operations against drug trafficking in that region. Monday was the first time multiple strikes were announced on the same day. The House Oversight Committee is asking Attorney General Pam Bondi to re-examine pardons issued by President Joe Biden signed using AutoPen. The committee says the White House attempted to, quote, cover up the president's cognitive decline and deemed the president's pardons void. Action from the Department of Justice would be necessary to make them void. President Biden says claims of a cover-up are lies. And President Donald Trump appeals his criminal conviction in the case related to his hush money scheme. The president argues that the case should have never been heard and the verdict overturned. Julia, Michael, back to you.
Thanks, Jack. We are days away from millions of Americans possibly losing their food assistance benefits. Find out what the president is saying about the situation and which government agency says they won't release money to help, even though they have it.
And Norman residents will have an extra chance to take advantage of their benefits before the shutdown, coming up on OU Nightly.
Mom was always organized, but she started forgetting to pay her bills on time.
And she'd buy the same gifts over and over.
Telling the girls about my Alzheimer's diagnosis was really hard.
At first we had our cries, but then we were like, okay, let's make a plan.
Early detection gave us time to adapt together.
It's so important for you to think about what you can do and making the most of what you have.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver. And we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
We said we'd never give in to a meltdown.
Mariella!
Never leave the house looking, well, and never let them out of our sight. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock.
SNAP benefits will be shutting down in 4 days. On November 1st, the SNAP food stamp benefits will no longer have federal funding, causing concern for millions of Americans. Sherelle Hubbard has more on what some states are doing to fight food insecurity.
Come November 1st, millions of Americans may not receive food stamps through the federally funded Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program known as SNAP, which helps feed more than 42 million low-income Americans each month. Trump tried to assure reporters Friday that it's a non-issue.
Yeah, everybody's going to be in good shape, yep.
But that conflicts with the U.S. Department of Agriculture, which has said it will not use its $6 billion contingency fund to cover food stamp benefits next month.
I want to be very clear. USDA, during this shutdown, has contingency funds that they could release just like us. They are choosing not to.
Illinois' governor says the state government is going to support its food pantries as best it can, but blamed a Republican-controlled government for the looming lapse in benefits.
Donald Trump is unwilling to reopen the government, unwilling to sit down with Democrats. I mean, he's in control of the government. He should be willing to talk about it and work on it before those SNAP benefits are taken away.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune said Monday that he believes Senate Republicans will do what they can to ensure SNAP payments continue, but insisted that the best way to keep the programs working is to end the shutdown. I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
Back here in Oklahoma, the state says existing balances in people's SNAP accounts will remain available after the November 1st deadline. Oklahoma Department of Human Services says they'll continue to work with their federal partners and keep recipients here in the state up to date as things develop.
Those who receive SNAP benefits here in Norman will still be able to use their card at the Norman Farmer Market this Saturday. The Norman Farmers Market announced earlier today before the Oklahoma DHS that they will extend their hours to allow those to get food before the November 1st deadline. However, after the Oklahoma DHS SNAP announcement, Norman Market Manager Charles Hamilton tells OU Nightly that it's going to be business as usual this Saturday at the market.
We want to make sure that people that need access to food can have access to food. If people wanted to come and use their EBT cards to get out tokens, they would, that they would then be able to use at the market. We wanted to provide that opportunity for them.
It says if you have a SNAP card and bring it to the Fresh Oklahoma booth at the market, you can receive fresh ground beef. Despite the federal government shutdown and food programs shutting down, a key program that provides food assistance to pregnant women, new moms, and young children in need will continue. Serving nearly 7 million people across the country, the Agriculture Department confirmed on Monday announced that the WIC program will keep running for the foreseeable future. The department is using tariffs money to keep the program going. Still more to come. City Council Ward 3 seat is currently open.
But with the council meeting tonight, it won't be open for long. Hear who is to be voted into that seat tonight, coming up after the break.
And strong winds bring our first freeze watch for parts of Oklahoma. We'll have an update on that as our team continues to track Hurricane Melissa after this break.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Well, welcome back to OU Nightly. If you went outside this morning and got caught in that rain, you knew it was going to get colder. Looking at our campus cam, we can see those clouds have since cleared out. That sunshine is coming on in. Temperatures 60 degrees for us. That humidity, though, only at 51%. So it's a little bit cooler than it has been the last couple weeks, and it's going to get windy as these cold fronts keep moving through. That first wind advisory for pretty much all of Oklahoma, except for the Panhandle, goes until 4 p.m. Wednesday. So grab the extra glue for your eyelashes. You're going to want it as we get into tomorrow. Everything's going to be blowing everywhere. Don't even bother with your hair. If you got hairspray, you're going to use all of it. Current wind speeds 25 for us here in Norman, a little bit stronger as we get off to the west. And well, it's only going to get worse as we get the next round of cold fronts move through. That first one moved through overnight. That's going to push off to the east. And then the next one starts to move in as we get into Thursday morning. That's going to really bring some more winds, but the coldest temperatures into Thursday morning. That one moves on out, and then we have more of that blue coming in into this weekend. So it's finally that time of the year. And well, we might see our first frost here in Norman. It's a pretty low chance along I-35 across the state as we get towards the west. Medium for areas from Lawton up towards Enid and Clinton. And then as we get further west, that's where that high chance, they're going to freeze. It's cold out there. The wind's blowing. They're going to get into the 20s. Now here, we're going to be right on the edge of that line of 32. So that freeze watch does not include Cleveland County right now, but it might as we get closer, so that's something to keep an eye on. The future wind gusts 20 for us as we get into Tuesday night into Wednesday. That's when we start to see our strongest gusts. Look at that, 34 in Norman for the strongest gust tomorrow. Some of those could get up into the 40s as we get into Wednesday afternoon. Now it'll start to die out as that next cold front moves through, and those temperatures are going to dive. Look at that, 51 at 7, and then as we get into tomorrow morning, we're going to get into those low 30s. I think the feel-like temperature could get to 32 here in Norman tomorrow morning. So the lows 40 tonight for us, but with that wind, oh boy, it's going to be cold. So grab the jacket if you are heading out there, or maybe the parka. I think it's about time I break mine out. This Texas boy doesn't love those cold weather very much. Now our high is going to be in those low 50s as we get in tomorrow. Look at that. Our average 68, so about 15 degrees below average. We were running 15 degrees above for a while, so I think we're paying for it now. That 7-day forecast, 52 degrees for us with that 40. Then we have that cold front move on in, 59 for the high, 40 degrees for the low, so it's going to be chilly. Now, the good thing is not a whole lot of rain on that forecast as we get into Halloween on Friday. So if you're heading out there, you might want to grab a jacket and just incorporate it into your costume because it's going to be chilly into Saturday as well if you decide to head out to any of those spooky, I don't know. I'm going to see, what are they called? I can't even remember it.
The pumpkin
Where do you go?
patch?
You get scared.
The haunted house. Oh,
a haunted house. That's
oh
what
my
it is.
gosh.
That's where I'm heading now. I'm going to need a jacket for it the whole time.
I just think it's so crazy how we were just in the 80s and 90s, and now we're dropping to the 40s and 30s.
Welcome to Oklahoma. What can they say?
No fall temperatures. I mean, I was glad it's not 90 anymore, but I really was hoping for some fall this year, but Oklahoma for you.
Blew right past it. Maybe the leaves will turn for a day or two. How about
that?
Right.
There you go. Well, the City Council Ward 3 seat is currently open with the nomination and appointment happening tonight at 6:30. Councilmember-elect Robert Bruce is set to be voted into Ward 3 during the meeting. OU Nightly spoke with the mayor of Norman, and he says that he is hoping the new ward will have these attributes.
There's 5 candidates that they're interviewing that applied for the position, and I'm really just hopeful that we can get somebody on council who is professional and respectful and understands the issues that Norman is dealing with.
Now, the intersection of Southbury Road and West Imhoff Road will be closed tomorrow from 7:30 to 4 p.m. This closure is for repairs to the damaged manhole. Motorists are advised to avoid this area until the road work is complete. Property owners that are residing north of Imhoff on Southbury Road should enter the neighborhood from the north. College football head coaches are getting fired left and right. Is Brent Venables the next guy at risk?
And SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey sent a letter to the NCAA. Stick around to see what it was about.
Yeah, Michael. And John Mateer spoke to the media last night, and it got personal. Stay with us, and we'll tell you what it was all about coming up next in sports.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking.
Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
All right, look at you taking the stairs. Who are you?
We're your lungs. We are proud of you for quitting smoking, but you still may be at risk for lung cancer.
A routine cancer scan can detect it early when it's more curable. Good to know. Well, I gotta go somewhere.
So do we.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Food isn't just fuel to live, it's fuel to grow. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger, and together we can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Visit feedingamerica.org/actnow.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
I'm Landon Thomas, and it's time for sports. After LSU fired Brian Kelly on Sunday night, there are now 3 head coach job openings up for grabs in the SEC. With the bar set high for everyone, Brent knows that this is just how the conference rolls right now.
You see too many programs that have been able to have some success, immediately. And then there's been a lot of programs that have been disrupted that maybe have been used to a level of consistency that maybe they're not experiencing right now. So just an anxious time, a lot of emotion in the moment, and college football has never lacked for emotion and passion. And so I think you're seeing a little bit of that.
OU quarterback John Mateer had only 7 interceptions last year at Washington State. Fast forward to today, Mateer has thrown 6 interceptions in just 7 games as OU starter. While he knows he has room to improve, he isn't just worried about the development on the field, but off of it as well.
Last year wasn't perfect, and this year it hasn't been perfect. And that's football, and that's okay, but I'm still 21 years old. I'm learning myself as a man and as a Christian, so yeah, I've learned a lot, and it's okay. I think the noise, I've done a good job blocking it out, and that's not what bothers me. It's the product on the field.
Redshirt junior Grayson Miller was named the Ray Guy Punter of the Week today by the Augusta Sports Council. Miller averaged over 50 yards a punt, totaling for over 200 yards on Saturday against Ole Miss. Sooner fans hope he won't be as busy when the Sooners travel to Tennessee this weekend. And after the NCAA decided to allow college athletes the freedom to bet on pro sports, SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey has asked the board to rethink their decision. He said in his letter to the board that the integrity of competition is at risk when anyone with insider information becomes involved with gambling. And former Sooner guard Austin Reeves is back in headlines as he scored 92 points in the last 2 days alone. Reeves had 41 points last night with the Los Angeles Lakers loss in 122-108 versus the Portland Trail Blazers. And Hawks guard Austin Reeves had 21 points and 17 assists in the game against the Chicago Bulls. I mean, look at that assist right there. But it wasn't enough after the Hawks lost 128-122. And talk about a late night thriller. Game 3 of the World Series between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Toronto Blue Jays went for 18 innings last night and lasted 6 hours and 39 minutes. The game ended when former OKC Red Hawk Freddie Freeman hit a walk-off home run right here for the Dodgers to win 6-5. They'll be back at it again tonight for Game 4 starting at 7 p.m. Julia, Michael.
Thanks, Landon. Halloween is coming quick, and many events are happening this week on campus to celebrate.
Which student group is putting on the Tunnels of Terror and where you can find it for free?
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. You'll save about 4 gallons per minute. That comes out to about 200 gallons a week for a family of 4. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
I'm McKinley Potter at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Conservative activist Cam Higbee is set to speak at OU's Turning Point USA chapter meeting tonight. Higbee is the leader of the Fearless Tour, which promotes free speech debates on college campuses across the country. Today, he was seen earlier at OU just before our newscast talking with students outside Dale Hall. The meeting is scheduled for 5 p.m. in Nielsen Hall, where students are encouraged to attend. Julia, Michael.
Thanks, McKinley. We know you keep us updated on the details with that meeting. And Halloween is right around the corner, and the OU Engineers Club is celebrating early. They are inviting students to join them for a spooky event.
Tunnels of Terror will begin its haunt tonight. You can find this special haunted house beneath the Carson Engineering Center. It all kicks off at 7 p.m. tonight, and it is free to attend. Now, I don't know if I can make it or brave the Tunnels of Terror, but Landon, will you be there?
Absolutely not. You see me, I am deathly scared of stuff. I can't go to those Halloween tunnels, you know what I mean?
That's right. Well, I know Garrett, you said you were going to go to one, right?
I think so. But I'm going to make sure to pack the jacket because I think I'm more afraid of the cold than I am a haunted house. There we go. I remembered it this time. And while those temperatures going to be pretty chilly as we get on into tomorrow, 52 for us, 59 into Thursday, and for Friday, 63 degrees. And it's going to be windy tomorrow. I'm not going to take my dog out. That little thing would get blown into Arkansas if I did. But as we get towards the end of the week, we're going to cool on down with those 60s coming back in next week.
All right, thank you, Garrett. And thank you guys for watching OU Nightly. I'm Julia Roberts.
And I'm Michael Thompson. Be sure to watch OU Nightly weekdays live at 4:30. Good night.
Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here are some water conservation tips you can try.